Let's play Meimon, Takonishi Ouendan, made by Asamik in 1989. Asamik's mascot is a cross-eyed, squat, pinkish-purple dinosaur. Brilliant choice. There's two options in his hands. There's Password Continue, which is an awful system, and New Game. The funny-looking guy we have up top is the operations manager or narrator or whatever. He's also the weakest character out of all the player characters, so we won't be using him much in combat. But he is one of the characters. We have an option for music. We have it on or off. I believe this was on. And let's see, we also have... what was this? I don't know. And then we have the equipment screen. I can trade characters' equipment if I had any equipment to trade. And also, there's a throwaway item spot here if you actually want to throw away a piece of equipment. That's generally not a good idea. Alright, let's begin. We have 6 different characters. This guy looks a little bit like, kind of like the Fonz, or kind of like a typical 50s kind of hairstyle person. He's my favorite character out of all the characters, or, well, he's the most powerful character out of all the characters, so he's the one I'm going to like to use the most. He has 4 counter. These are his stats right here. Let's see, I think the top number was counter, the middle number is punch, and the bottom number is kick. He has 4, 4, and 5, and he also, or maybe that was movements. Oh wait, that was probably movements. Ah, never mind. That's not the counter stat. The stat on the top is movement speed. He moves 4 spaces, which there's only 2 characters that do that. There's also Baldy here, which he moves 4, but he only has the stats of 3 punch and 4 kick. Not quite as powerful. This guy has 4 and 5, just like the leader. He also wears sunglasses. I'm gonna call this guy Drake, just because he looks like a Drake. I don't know. I like the name Drake. Can you blame me? Anyways, let's get out there, Baldy. And it's Drake's turn. Move him up. Then we've got this... is this the fat guy? I think this is the fat guy, and the guy with the flat top hair. We'll call these two guys Tank and the Fat Man. Tank and the Fat Man both are very good punchers. They've got higher punching than they do kicking, which is different from the rest of the characters. Different from the other 4. And we have a special encounter with a guy with a scar on his face. He has 0 and 0 stats. Wow, that's ridiculous. I guess it's a fight you just have to win. I didn't look at his stats. And now he's telling us something that we can't read. Now, the battle system is kind of an action, well, semi-action RPG battle system. This is like a strategy RPG, but like the battles, you have limited time to decide what you're gonna do. It's not really an action. It's kind of like an active battle system, like kind of like, what was it, Final Fantasy 2, or no, that 2 is in America, Final Fantasy 4. It's kind of like Final Fantasy 4, except for it's different in that you only get 1 turn each or something. If you take too long, you just lose your turn. It's kind of different. Anyways, I'm not explaining the battle system very much. There's a couple different options you have, punching and kicking and such. And the results of said punching and kicking depends on the power of your stats and what your opponent did as well. Like, this character has lower stats than his opponents. He's generally going to have a hard time. Like, I punched and he won. This time I punched, and I actually got it off. Well, you do get lucky sometimes, but generally this guy's going to get the crap kicked out of him if I fight. So let's defend. If your stats are lower than your opponent's stats for punching and kicking, I say just start defending. Of course, you have to defend the right thing. Right there I did a kick defend, and I got punched. There we go. and this time I'm blocking a punch, and I failed, apparently. Actually, when you're weaker than your opponent, I don't really know what to do. Maybe the best thing to do is run away. But the narrator, operations guy, what the heck? Run! I can't do another fight. You lose 10 health when you run away. What just happened there? He got into a second fight? The weak narrator guy cannot take 2 fights. Weakling. Weakling guy, he cannot... He's not good for fighting. We're not going to use him much. I guess that's going to be his name from now on. Nah. Weakling sounds too unoriginal. Maybe we can think of something better. Oh, and this is one reason I love the bald guy. Bald guy's special punch. 11 damage. You can't use it very often, but it's painful. And he can move 4. And this is a yes or no question. I don't know what I'm saying yes to, but I usually say yes to those yes or no questions. Usually it's picking up a piece of equipment, not piecing up a pick of equipment. That's backwards. Yes, picking up a piece of equipment is usually what they ask you when you defeat an enemy or step into a house and you get a yes or no question. Also, a little trick I've picked up for Japanese games that are untranslated. Whenever you get a yes or no question, the word yes in Japanese is smaller than yes in English. And also the word yes in Japanese is smaller than the word no. So it's opposite of English. In English, the word yes appears larger width-wise than the word no. Y-E-S-N-O. I mean, it's pretty simple. It's wider, 3 letters. But in Japanese, no has more characters and is larger. So if you want to say yes in a Japanese game, pick the smaller option. If you want to say no in a Japanese game and you can't read it, pick the larger option. I mean, some of this might be pretty basic for you, or some of you might be able to read Japanese, but this is a rule of thumb that I use that helps me get through some of these yes or no options at least, so at least I know what I'm saying. At least a little bit. Oh yes, and all your characters have levels. They start on level 1, and every single stage you get through, they automatically all gain a level. But also, after winning a certain number of fights, they'll gain additional levels. I believe it was every 4 or 5 battles, something like that. For example, Baldi's been through 3 fights, 3 stars. He's got 2 stars. So I guess after one more fight, Baldi will get a level. And in this game, it is kind of... the game does kind of reward focusing experience on one character, because being more powerful than your opponents is a huge advantage. Usually you'll succeed in hitting your opponent without getting damaged if your stats are higher. A lot of games have some sort of system that prevents, or a system that doesn't reward powering up a single character too much. Or usually, a system that's usually against doing that. For example, usually there's an experience penalty for over-leveling a single character. And that's why you usually want to spread out your experience in these kind of strategy games, but this game has there is no reason in this game not to focus all the battles and experience on the one character, unless he's about to die and can't fight. But usually, if your character's powerful, that won't be the case. So anyways, what I'm trying to get at here is that I'm generally going to be fighting most, if not all, my battles with the leader, the Fonz here, Mr. Cool Sunshades, Mr. Cool Sunglasses guy. whatever you want to call him. But I will occasionally give a few fights to Drake here, or Baldy. I don't know why I'm calling him Drake. Maybe it's the mustache? I know there's been a lot of people throughout history that have had mustaches, so I don't know why I've chosen Drake. I just like the name. But it seems I don't see any reason why I shouldn't lump all the experience